When I bought this twin turbo BMW, it didn't run, it didn't have a key, and most people would have called it a lost cause. But since then, we made a key, we got it running, and we did just about every major maintenance item these cars need. And now it finally drives like the ultimate driving machine it was meant to be. But every time I get in it, I'm reminded it still looks like an abandoned BMW inside. But today, we're finally gonna change that and hopefully do it without spending a fortune. And if you watched any of my other builds, like the 300ZX build or the Porsche build, you know the interior is my favorite part. Both of these cars started with interiors that were absolutely trashed, and somehow they turned into my favorite parts of the entire build. So today we're gonna do the same thing to this BMW, and by the end of this episode, this thing should finally feel as good as it drives. And the crazy part is, when this build is finished, one of you is getting the keys. So make sure you enter at nostalgiaspec.com for your chance to win this BMW. But before that happens, we have a lot of work to do. Now I know some people love tan interiors, but BMW definitely wasn't doing them any favors back in 2010. 20 years of dirt, wear, and sun damage later, and this thing looks rough. And even if I cleaned it up perfectly, it was still gonna look dated. So rather than spending hours trying to save it, I decided to start with a better foundation. Luckily, I found a complete black interior from a parts car, and the best part, that N54 Part Out King cut me a deal. $400 for the full interior. And while it wasn't perfect, it was a whole lot better than what I had, but I had to help him go remove it from the car. Once I got the entire interior home, it was time to start deleting the tan interior. I started with the door panels. Surprisingly, BMW makes this a pretty simple job. I pulled off the wood trim to reveal the bolts that hold it in, and 3 T20 screws later, you can remove the clips and the entire door panel comes off. I gave the new to me black panel a good cleaning with some interior cleaner. I replaced all the broken clips, and then I swapped over the speakers. The new panels went in, and I could already see my vision forming. For the first time, the car was starting to feel less like a neglected BMW and more like something worth saving. Next up were the rear seats. The bottom just pops off with some clips, and the same with the rear side bolsters. This now gave me access to the bolts that hold the seat backs, and it was a bit of a fight to get them out, but once you got them loose, the backs came out fairly quickly. I worked my way to some of the pillar trim so I could get the tan rear deck lid out. I'm swapping in a black one, and it also houses the seat belts, which are getting swapped from tan to black. With everything unbolted, the rear deck joins the door panels in retirement. I cleaned up the black rear deck lid just like I did the door panels, and I bolted in the seat belts. Then the rear deck lid was in place. I got more of the lower trim off so I could access the front seat belts. These don't have any electronics in them, so they just unbolt, and once they're unbolted, I pulled out the tan leather seats. I pulled off the rear vents, which gave me access to 2 of the 4 bolts that hold this entire thing in. And once you have it loose, it takes a little bit of maneuvering around the shifter and the e-brake, but it slides right out. When I pulled out the trim on the center panel, I noticed some of the clips were broken. Since we're reusing this, I mixed up some JB Weld, and I got it back together so it's good and dry before we reassemble everything. And the black carpet was in good shape, but it definitely needed a cleaning. I pressure washed it so it had time to dry while I pulled out the dash and the rest of the interior. And thankfully the carpet is in 2 pieces, and so with the seats out, I can pull out the rear portion of the carpet. And one of the most intimidating parts of doing interior work is the dashboard, but it's really just a bunch of smaller jobs that add up to one bigger job. So first the glove box came out, then I moved on to the steering wheel. The airbag is just held in with 2 springs that you release, and then you could zip off the bolt holding it to the steering column. The cluster was next, which came out with 2 screws and a connector. And then the pillar trim comes off next. And as expected, I managed to break a few pieces along the way, because apparently BMW interior plastics have a self-destruct feature. With most of the hardware removed, I pulled the clock spring and the stalks off the steering column, and the dash was pretty much ready to come out. It was definitely one of the easier dashboards I've removed. And with it out of the way, the tan carpet followed it right out the door. The entire interior was gone. But for the first time in this project, it was finally time to start putting it all back together. With the teardown finally behind me, it was time to start putting this BMW back together. First up was the freshly cleaned black carpets, and immediately the car started feeling different. Then the black dashboard went back in. Piece by piece, I worked my way through the interior, reconnecting every connection. And reinstalling all the trim. The black leather center console followed, replacing the faded tan console that had been living in this car for the last 15 years. And at this point, it looked like a car had come from the factory this way. But now is finally time for my favorite part of the entire build, the seats. The seats I bought were actually in pretty decent shape, but the driver's seat had a tear in it. Now I could have just replaced the damaged leather and called it a day, but that's not really my style. I wanted this BMW to have something completely unique, something you couldn't order from BMW. So I ordered some custom fabric so that these seats would have that Nostalgia Spec touch. Not only would they replace the damaged sections, they would completely transform the look of the interior. And then I also designed matching keychains that actually use the same exact fabric pattern, and they're available at nostalgiaspec.com for $12, which gets you 12 entries to win this car when it's all finished. But once the upholstery work was finished, it was finally time to see everything come together. I started with the rear seat backs, then the lower cushions, and then I put the black seat belts in up front. And with every piece that went back in, the interior looked less and less like a project car and more like a finished show car. But the centerpiece of this entire interior was always going to be the front seats. Once those were in, the entire cabin transformed. But there was only one problem, the steering wheel. The previous owner had installed one of those steering wheel wraps and glued it into place, and now it was peeling apart and looked terrible. So I decided to completely redo it. I ordered a custom cut leather wrap, I removed all the trim and buttons, and I got everything prepped. Once the leather was positioned, I secured it with some upholstery tape, and I started stitching. And stitching. And stitching. It's definitely one of those jobs that looks easy until you're about halfway through, wondering why you even started it. But once it was finished, it was 1,000 times better. But while I had it apart, I refinished the center trim as well. I sanded it down and got all the rubber coating off, sprayed it with some adhesion promoter, and a fresh coat of satin black paint. And once everything was reassembled, the wheel finally went back where it belonged. And just like that, the driver's seat felt like a completely different place to be. And of course there was one more thing I had to fix, the cup holders. Because somehow BMW managed to design one of the greatest driving cars ever made and one of the worst cup holders ever created. So I got those fixed too. And when I bought the car, it was missing the radio completely. I picked up an OEM replacement from a parts car, but it had to be coded to the vehicle before it would function. I used Pro Tools and I programmed everything back to factory settings and finally brought the audio system back to life. And with that, there was only one thing left, fresh floor mats. It's amazing how much of a difference floor mats can make. For relatively little money, they instantly make the interior feel newer, cleaner, and more complete. But after months of looking at this tan leather, faded trim, and missing parts, the transformation was finally complete. And now it's time for you guys to enjoy the reveal. This thing feels absolutely incredible now. So if the turbo noises didn't make you want to win it, this interior should. So make sure you go to nostalgiaspec.com. So whether you ball out, get a hat, a shirt, or even if you just buy a sticker, you're definitely going to want to win this thing. There's still a few things that we have to fix on the interior. I don't have the BMW chime still, so I don't really know what that's from. And now the Mini Cooper chime is gone. And then every time I open the door, the driver's side mirror has a motor running in it, and I have no idea what's causing that. But we have a big decision to make on this. Do we tune it and add downpipes and an intercooler, or do we leave it stock for the winner of this giveaway? I'll let you guys decide down in the comments, but in the next episode, we're going to take care of the exterior. The front bumper definitely needs to be painted or replaced, the windshield's cracked, and the headlights are completely trashed. And of course, this car needs wheels. So if you want to win this car, make sure you go to nostalgiaspec.com and enter to win the giveaway. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I'll see you guys in the next one.